Hello world, it's Godzilla4 with you once again. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. So I want to give a quick shout out to my boy George, or Jorge Saldana, because he featured me on his movie podcast, and we actually talked about a great movie called Godzilla from 1998. Yes, that's in the Matthew Broderick Godzilla. Gino. Anyway, so I was on his podcast, and I was kind of the Godzilla expert. You know me. You guys know how I am. So I'll leave a link to that below, I think, when it finally comes out. And then you guys should totally check out his podcast. It's super awesome. He always has a guest or somebody talking about movies. I really dig his style. The guy's a great up-and-coming filmmaker. And you guys should really go support him and his podcast and his other projects. So I'm going to leave a link below to his podcast and his YouTube for you guys to go check out. Anyway, it's about that time of year, though. I want to give you guys my top 5 movies of 2016 I'm most excited about. Number 5, Assassin's Creed. Now, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so with that comes, of course, that mixed dose of excitement and also extreme skepticism and worry because I want to see it done right. But I'm also excited for it because I'm a fan. Now, from what we know, Michael Fassbender has had a hand in producing it and has been working very closely with Ubisoft. It's actually being produced partly by Ubisoft. And it's not going to be a remake, adaptation, or anything, but instead it's going to be if you will, a spin-off, a new character, and it's going to be part of the same universe or its own thing. And features a new assassin, a Spanish assassin, played by Michael Fassbender, set in, I think, the 1600s. And what we do know is that he's kind of wandering on his own, and it will still tie into present day events, kind of like how we had Desmond and Abstergo and all that, probably. Now, of course, the movie is very far away. We don't have a trailer yet. We've got some set pictures, but we've seen his design, so it's very hard at this point to speculate on anything. We're very much still in the guessing stages, and I really can't say anything until there's a trailer. But I gotta admit, I'm pretty pumped for it, and that's why it's on my top 5. Just because it's something that I think they've been trying to make a movie for years, but again, movies based on video games have a really bad reputation, and it's something that Assassin's Creed, I think, could translate very well to screen, but it just has to be done right. And I'm liking the direction they're going with. I like the new assassin idea, new time period. But it also still fits into the universe of Assassin's Creed, and I just hope it's good. So that's why it makes it onto my top 5 for this year. Number 4, Suicide Squad. So, DC's Suicide Squad. If you don't know what that is, basically imagine the what are they called? A-Team. Like the supervillain A-Team, I kind of call it. Essentially a bunch of bad guys thrown in jail, and they offered to, give them a shorter jail sentence if they were willing to go on high-risk missions that they basically were going to get killed. Hence, the Suicide Squad. Will Smith is Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Joker's the bad guy. I mean, what more can you ask for, right? Very much an you could say superhero movie, but still a superhero movie. And especially after that last trailer that just dropped like a couple days ago, this movie definitely is at number 4 on my list for many reasons. I think of it now as like a dark Guardians of the Galaxy. You know how Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of, a more comedic, funny film for a superhero movie? Well, this feels like DC's answer to the Guardians of the Galaxy is something like that, except, of course, much darker and much more twisted, for sure. Because none of these guys are good guys. They're pretty terrible people. And it's going to be really interesting when you have to root for them. And they're, especially when they're probably all going to turn on each other anyway. So it should be exciting. It should be fun. My personal thoughts on the Joker. It's one of those things where I think he fits really well for this movie. I don't think he's going to be my favorite Joker or anything. Heath Ledger is still up there for me. I really like the Joker, honestly, from the Arkham games. I think he's kind of the best version of it that's like classic and modern. But I think this Joker works for the style of this movie and even maybe this larger universe that they're creating for the DC cinematic universe. But I'm excited for it because it's a very different kind of superhero movie, and I like the style and the tone they're going with. So definitely a number 4 on my list. And then, speaking of which, number 3, the other big DC cinematic film of this year, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, of course, this has to be on my top 5. This is it. I mean, I personally really enjoyed Man of Steel a lot more, I think, than some other people did. And as soon as this was announced, I was like, I'm going to see that. Now, I'm not a huge Batman fan, like the rest of the world is, but I'm pretty excited to see him included in this. And I think the showdown is, while obviously they did it as a cash cow and they knew people would go see it if they fought, I like the idea of the fight. I think it's going to be less about who's better and more about them struggling and fighting at first, and then coming to realize, oh shit, Lex Luthor, Doomsday is the bigger threat. We got to go take care of that. And probably Wonder Woman is going to have a hand in helping them unite too. I know that recent trailer came out not too long ago, and I kind of mentioned that I didn't think it was too bad, but maybe showing Doomsday was a little bit much. But at the same time, I understand why they put Doomsday in the movie, and that was because they wanted someone to get physical with Batman and Superman, because Lex Luthor's not going to be able to do that unless Lex Luthor gets his little power suit thing, which I'm not sure that's going to fit the style or the tone of film they're making. So, but still, I'm excited for it. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, definitely number 3 on my list. And so yeah, so it looks like DC in their cinematic universe is yeah, I'm interested for sure. But number 2 is Marvel's Captain America: Civil War. And of course, this has to be number 2 on my list because, well, A, I'm a Marvel fanboy. B, I mean, it's Civil War, and it's Civil War. I mean, there's not much really I need to say about this. I don't need to really explain why I'm excited, especially after like Age of Ultron left us on such a high note. Just to continue with this, and I actually enjoyed Ant-Man, and it's funny how he hasn't appeared in the teaser yet, but he's definitely gonna be a giant part of the movie. I'm sorry if that spoils something for you, but once you see the movie, you'll understand what I meant by giant. And they haven't shown Vision either. So there's some things that they're definitely leaving out. But, I mean, yes, I'm going to go see it because I want to watch these guys beat the crap out of each other. Yeah, of course. Why not, right? That teaser where, Iron Man is getting punched out by Winter Soldier and Cap is amazing. So, yeah, it's going to be good. And, of course, there's Spider-Man. However big of a role he has. I'm not sure how big of a role he's really going to have, but it should be enjoyable, it should be thrilling, it should be interesting. I wonder who's going to die, so we'll have to see. But I have a feeling somebody's going to die. Somebody pretty big. So, anyway, Captain America: Civil War, number 2 on my list. Now, number 1 is, that one is going to be pretty hard to guess, I bet, what my number 1 movie I'm most excited about this year. Yeah, Godzilla Resurgence. Now, while we don't even have an American release date yet, I'm still obviously very pumped, right? I mean, I don't even have to say anything. Hey, I'm Gojo4. You know why this is my number 1 movie I'm most excited for this year. But it's not just because I'm a Godzilla fan, but it's also I'm genuinely interested to see what the Shinji and Anno are going to bring to the table. I've liked what I've been seeing already. I like the style and the tone. I really am kind of hoping it's a semi-remake of the original film, a standalone Godzilla movie. I really hope maybe we can even get the Oxygen Destroyer to show up in that storyline. And I think if it's kind of trying to be a dark disaster movie, I think it'll be great and successful, and that's kind of what I'm hoping we're getting from this film. And I think it'll be a nice contrast to 2014's very blockbuster-ish Godzilla. So I'm definitely excited for Godzilla Resurgence. I have my skepticism, of course, but I'm still excited. And hopefully we'll get a trailer soon, like a real trailer. But Godzilla Resurgence, yes, definitely my number 1 movie I'm most excited for this year. But all these films I'm pretty excited for. And also I wanted to give out some quick mentions to 2 that weren't on my top 5, but I mean, still pretty excited for, and that is Doctor Strange and Star Wars Rogue One. And being the Marvel fanboy I am, I had to include Doctor Strange. I'm still excited for that and that side of Marvel. because Doctor Strange is more magic and mysticism, and I think he's an interesting character. I think Benedict Cumberbatch was a great choice to be Doctor Strange. Yeah, and then Star Wars Rogue One. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan. I feel like we almost have enough Star Wars movies. We don't really need an extra one, especially if it's just the story of some guys stealing the Death Star plans. Like, I don't know. I'm more interested like in the Han Solo movie than I am in Star Wars Rogue One. But I'll still see it, you know. And it's like a year away, so I can't really be that excited about it yet, right? Anyway, that's my top 5 movies I'm most excited for. And probably next week expect the top 5 video games I'm most excited for. And yeah, and hopefully more news on this big boy and all the movies I mentioned, especially now that we're rolling in. And Dawn of Justice comes out in like 2 months, so get ready for tons of stuff, you know. Tons more coming your way. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a nice weekend and all that. And yeah, alright, see you around. Bye!